A fantastic play, jumps up and robs him of a base hit, and possibly the go-ahead run. Here's the play, they're going to lob it to home, and it gets down, and he's out at home. Here comes the third, play it third, and sight. This is hit hard, this is going to left field, this one is back, and it's out of here.
Well, everyone, it's Wednesday night. Time for Super League Baseball Adelaide. Thanks to Spacequake Sports, welcome to Active Display Stadium in West Beach for the inaugural game in this exciting innovation. A competition where the cream of South Australian baseball talent will all be on display at the one place on the one night. Over the next 11 weeks, 4 teams, the Carp, the Clippers, the Denmark Crushers and the Wasps will be doing battle for Super League supremacy. Very shortly, the Carp and Denmark Crushers will launch festivities with the Clippers and Wasps to follow later on tonight. My name's Phil Hurd and very excited to be joining you for a new baseball season in Adelaide, and I'm joined in commentary by a man well known in local circles and a true baseball globetrotter. Rod Ashley, Rob, welcome to Wednesday Night Baseball.
Oh, thank you, Phil. I'm very excited to be back in Adelaide for third summer season here. Watching some great baseball. The Super League will be something very exciting that I can't wait to see the elite players and especially some of the young guys who are getting their first taste of elite baseball in South Adelaide show their talent and see what they can do.
So, of course, we're coming off winter here in Adelaide, whilst we were freezing and having the rain. Where were you spending your Aussie winter?
My Aussie winter was actually in France this year. I was coaching a local baseball club in France, and so my summer was there, and now my summer is here.
The joy of being a baseball globetrotter. The Super League tonight. Robert, all the people watching here, we know the ABL, we know the Adelaide Bite, all Baseball SA fans, we know the 13 teams. Where does this fit as a bridge between those two comps?
As a bridge, I think this is going to be great for, especially like I said, the development of the younger players. Looking at the rosters that these teams have, you have the marquee players who are either Adelaide Bite players, alumni, some of the marquee players of the SABL for years, and when we go through, start talking about them, their stats, and that they've had mighty careers. For some of the young guys, they've only had a chance to look up to them on opposing teams. Here they get a chance to play with them and learn a little differently and see what it's like to be on a different team other than seeing the same people every week in and out.
Well, it's going to be wonderful. Opponents are going to be teammates, and teammates are going to be opponents, which will make for a little bit of fun and no doubt a chat in the locker room later on. We're not too far from getting underway. The team you're seeing there is the Carp. They are in the red. They'll play the Denmark Crushers in the purple. And Rob, you have the starting lineup. Let's go for the Carp first up.
Starting for the Carp today, we'll have in center field, we've got number 23, Ben Keeping. And batting second at number 5, Harry Nucky. In left field, you have number 12, Wilson Lee. The designated hitter tonight will be Adelaide's very own and fan favorite, number 25, Angus Rozier. At first base, batting 5th, you have number 24, Ryan Muggleton. Batting 6th, playing second base, is going to be Jay Sanderson. Catching today behind the plate, number 7, Mason Clavel. In right field, you have number 6, Nathan Vanderlinden, and at third base, you have the youngster number 11, Liam Bull. Taking the mound tonight for the Carp is going to be a little different. He's one of the assistant coaches, but since one of their marquee players is away, you're going to have Nick Hutchings taking over on the mound, and congratulations, Nick, just named to the under-23 Australian team, and it's going to be a great tune-up for him after this past weekend. He'll be ready to go.
He's had a big week. Named in the under-23 Australian squad, signed a new contract with the Bite announced today, and he gets to throw the first ever pitch in Super League Baseball Adelaide. Facing him will be Anthony Herrera, the number 1 draft pick. It's time for the cream of the talent. One place, one night. Here we go. And the first pitch will be on the outside, taken for a ball. Herrera comes in import, no record of note in South Australian baseball. First time he's probably been to West Beach, but has the reputation to be drafted pick 1. And showing some early patience and getting head in the count 2-0.
Yeah, you mentioned it. He's an import. He's from McKinney, Texas. He played for Louisiana Monroe, which is the Warhawks.
The Warhawks.
He does have a nice little resume in Div 1 baseball. Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year and some Frontier League with the normal Corn Belters.
So Hutching getting that one down low, and Herrera is ahead 3-1 in the count.
Early start, he's just missing low with everything right now, which is going to be good. He's looking to induce ground balls mainly.
Trying to set up for the young infield. The Carp there generally look to be a young side. That one just nicked on the inside corner, so we get to the full count with our first at-bat, just to build the pressure a little bit.
Herrera doing the leadoff batter, work the count, see as many pitches as he can for his teammates.
There's one comebacker past Hutchins, past second, and our leadoff man gets the first hit. Thought about second for a brief moment, but fielding it clearly there was Ben Keeping in centre and a man on. That's exactly what you want from your leadoff guy.
Yeah, he worked the count deep, saw a couple pitches. He saw the slider, he saw the fastball, the changeup, and he just inside out with a little fastball right up the middle and got himself set up for his teammates there. The second batter here is going to be, for the Dunmark Crushers, is going to be another SABL landmark player, Josh Cakebread.
Yeah, one of the veterans, Goodwood Indians. You have to find me every time I say Goody Saints. They're a footy team.
Oh.
Okay, I know it's the Goodwood Indians in baseball. Just the defending champions, of course.
Hutchings found the outside corner with a nicely placed fastball. Get ahead in the count.
So Hutchings last year in SA baseball, an ERA of .86 if you don't mind. 31 innings pitched. You'll take that any competition.
Yeah, the innings might have been a little low, but that was only because... Ooh.
One hopper to first, and that'll just be it. Herrera off very quickly, so he's advanced to second. We've got our first out,
Yeah,
and I guess the first base fielder's choice.
Yeah, Cakebread fooled a little bit there on the changeup, but did his job. He moved the runner over. But the innings were a little low probably for Nick last year, but that's for a very good reason. He spent a lot of time with the Adelaide Bite. So he missed a few weekends for his local club.
Yeah, always an interesting balancing act, which of course we will see in full late November. November 15, would you believe, just over 5 weeks away, the new Australian Baseball League season. We'll share some of the new initiatives that are going to be around with that as the night progresses. Hutchings with one out. That one looked right down King William Street, gets the first strike.
And batting here for the Dunmark Crushers is going to be another veteran of the SABL, many years, former import but now resident, Linden Hernandez.
Yes. You get in trouble if I'm going to call him a bridesmaid, but he's been the runner-up 2 years in a row in the Caps medal. As that one is fouled down at the third base line. Hernandez averaged .345 last year, slugged .672, 28 RBIs, 10 home runs from his 35 games all started. Critical part of the Rams lineup. And one of the first marquee players picked. So man on second, one out. Third man up, if you've just joined us, the first innings. That one is a line drive right down the first base line. This is going to score Herrera. This could, well, Herrera's going to score. Hernandez will just jog into second. We have our first run in Super League Baseball that belongs to Anthony Herrera, and the first RBI to Linden Hernandez.
Sort of fitting that it goes to the veteran Linden Hernandez. A professional at bat there, fell behind 0-2. Nick Hutchings tried to get the outside corner with the fastball, just bled a little bit over, a little too much over, and Linden made him pay. Hit it down the line in right field for the double RBI double.
So we'll go through the rules as the night progresses, but each pitcher has a maximum of 2 innings to pitch. It's a 7-inning game, so you're going to see, by my maths, at least 4 pitchers out there tonight, maybe more. Hutchings just getting a special exemption to play. Wasn't drafted, wasn't a marquee player. It's all part of developing the talent, and Hutchings is certainly one of those talents we're going to enjoy watching in the years to come. Off to, I'm going to get this wrong, I think it's Mexico, the under-23 world champs in just a week or two, not far away.
I believe somewhere around the 19th or so, yeah.
Yeah, the boys last year, they got silver medals. That's going to be a hard act to follow. Good luck to them. So that one reaches on the outside. And again, Ben Andrews, Henley and Grange, one of the youngsters, I think, in this line.
Last year he played in Brisbane. He played with the Redland Rays, so he has a little bit of Australian experience, but he's an American from, I'm not sure where it was. This past year he did spend some time in Germany.
And that's a one-hopper which is going to, well, Hutchings had looked at third and Hernandez was halfway there. And so that's going to be a second out. Again, another fielder's choice.
Andrews obviously felt that he fouled that ball off, or his foot or off the plate, but it didn't run because he thought it was a foul ball. But you know, he's going to have to make the adjustment to the inside pitching. It looked like Hutchings was all over the inside corner. He threw him three in a row there, and he finally got him to kind of chop down on one.
Takes the first pitch strike. You look at the Carp, you're looking at some of the best young talent in South Australian baseball. You look at the Dunmark Crushers, and it's more that experience. When your top five has Cakebread, Hernandez and Creswell, three of the great veterans in this competition now.
Yeah, the last one you mentioned is up to bat right now, Jeremy Creswell. Another one last year, him and Josh Cakebread. I think they were born together playing shortstop and second
one goes,
base.
The other follows.
Yeah, they all see them all the time together up the middle.
I mean, yes, in theory with this league, they should have been in opposite sizes. There's a little grounder. That's going to, well, not going to score the run because it's 2 outs. That'll do it. The first half of things is in the book. The Crushers are on the board. A RBI by double Landon Hernandez scoring Anthony Herrera. It's 1-0 Crushers. We'll see what the Carp have to come up with. Weather conditions today, probably not your what you'd hope for a spring day. We've got the hoodies on, rugged up, expecting a fairly cool night here at West Beach.
Yeah, the wind's blowing a little bit. You know, there's a little chill in the air, and could use a little pair of mittens on here, just sitting. But if the sun is out, it's a beautiful day for baseball. You can always put extra layers on, and if it's not raining, you can play. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you can see a couple of the players have got the T-shirts under the jerseys today. So your coaching resume, I mean, I've looked at your resume, very impressive. Kids, seniors, overseas.
Yeah.
Any particular expertise? Is it you're more a pitching than a hitting?
I came when I played a little bit of professional baseball and through college. I was a pitcher, so pitching is probably what I just know the best historically. But I've been coaching now for almost 20 years, so I've gotten kind of a vast array in all the positions defensively and hitting. One of the little things different for a pitcher teaching hitting is I can find where a weakness in a batter is, and then it's just helping him fix that part sometimes, as opposed to everything else. You know, mechanics are mechanics sometimes, and you don't always want to change those. It's just, you know, the mental game and the approach, and there's a little more to hitting than just how hard you hit the ball every time, which is something I think some of the younger players they need to learn.
So basically, if it needs coaching, you'll coach it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Alrighty, well, we've gone from a young phenom, Nick Hutchings, off to the World Championship to a veteran import. David Carroll, picked number 8 in the draft down at the highway. Pitcher for the Gawler Rangers. He's import coaching with the University of Maryland Terrapins and sends one down the middle for a first pitch strike. At the plate, Ben Keeping with the Glenelg Club.
This is one of the young players, Ben Keeping. He was away playing some college ball, and one of the young guys looking to get back into the SABL and make his mark. Here he gets to hit leadoff for the Carp. It's one of the young players that I was saying that I'd like to see get his foot into it a little bit.
As someone who's followed Aussie rules, where basically if you're lucky you might travel interstate.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal the number of kids that are just out and about all over the planet playing this game. So a little bit on the high side. So we've got a 2-2 count Top of the first, the Carp trailing by 1. 7 innings game. We're limited to 2 hours. So, one, because we've got another game to follow, the Clippers on the Wasp. And Fraser Fife will be your play-by-play guy for that. You'll love spending time with Fraser, as that one is hit in the gap between first and second. And, well, mirror image, the Carp get their lead-on man on.
Yeah, again, you know, he got the count in his favor. Carroll fell behind in the count. He had to attack him a little more. He left a little bit of a hanging curveball up there, and the young outfielder hit a line drive into right field for a single to get his team going, and see if they can answer back with moving guys over and driving in runs like the Dunmark Crushers did in their first at-bats.
Harry Nucky, we saw him in action for that one special game for the Bite, part of the under-18 national team, pretty sure. With the Saints of Stir, goes to the bunt to advance the runner. He placed that very well and is safe at first, and this wild throw will advance the lead-off man, and now it's men on the corners for the Carp.
Yeah, Carp look like they're going to play a little small ball right off the bat, and they get a bonus out of it.
Now, I hear this is your kind of baseball. Be aggressive, bunt, run the bases.
Absolutely. I love putting pressure on the opposition. I love to hit and run, steal bases, make the other team happen there, make extra base. You know, they were looking for a second with a bunt. You know, a bunt by Harry Nucky, and you end up getting away. And now you got runners on the corners with nobody out. It's definitely a little bit of danger time for the Dunmark Crushers early.
Well, for a young team, here's their veteran. 7 home runs last year in Baseball SA. The senator from Woodville, Wilson Lee, plenty of experience in Europe with the Bond Capitals, where he was one of their key players, going both ways, pitching and hitting, and expect to see that over the course of Super League Baseball. Pick-off attempt plenty safe.
Yeah, this past year, Wilson Lee was in Solingen with the Alligators in Germany in the Bundesliga, and he had some amazing numbers there. He had 437 as a hitter, and then he even pitched a little bit. He was 6-3. If he gets in, we'll talk a little bit more about his pitching, but as a hitter, he's definitely a very dangerous two-way player.
Because it's a different setup than what you would see in a normal game, where you hope your starter's going to go a fair way in, and then you've got to work out the rest until you can get to your closer. This one, you've really got to find 4 pitchers that can pitch a couple of decent innings each.
Just outside a little bit, yeah, which is true. And then the other rule they've implemented is once the pitcher is in the game, he has to come out when he's done pitching. He can't go to another position. He can't stay in the game anywhere. He has to come out altogether.
It's not Little League. You don't get to go to third ring, third base in.
Goes the runner. Hit and run.
Had the idea. So just to set up the Dunmark Crushers defensively, Nick Talbot in left, Matt Hutchings in centre, Todd McDonald in right. We've got Herrera at the hot corner in third base, Jeremy Creswell next to Josh Cakebread. How else would you have
it? Of course.
Ben Andrews at first, Landon Hernandez at the plate. Travis Underhill is the DH for the Dunmark Crushers. Of course, they've set the scene and they've got themselves a sponsor, Dunmark Corporation, which is great to see. 1-2 count, none out. Carroll getting one of his first tastes of Aussie baseball, and he's got himself in a little jam here. And that was way wide, and to be honest, pretty lucky that was picked up by Hernandez, because a passed ball, even with the brick wall, could have been a run for the Carp and the tying run.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it would have been easily, because they got some speed on the bases with those 2 young men out there right now.
Check the swing. And did go. So first strikeout that we've seen.
Yeah, a nice little, I'm not sure if that was a slow slider or a big hanging curve, but it definitely looked more like a slider. It just took off, and it didn't look like it was a strike most of the way, but it was enough to do the job.
Well, I tell you what, the roster says it's Angus Roger. I think it's the wild man from Borneo who's come out here, weaving the locks out the back.
You're right. I had to double check that when I saw him warming up in the outfield to see who number 25 was. And then I took a look. I'm like, is that the man they called Gus?
And of course, had the pleasure here a couple of years ago of calling the first ever ABL home run here at Active Display Stadium by the aforementioned Angus Roger, who backed it up with one of the bites last game. Hit it right at that scaffolding tower over the 380-foot fence.
Close play at first base there. He got just under the tag there.
So critical out here, because Rozier can put one deep, and if he does that, you've got the sacrifice option to get keeping home.
You got to expect Carroll's going to be pounding the bottom of the zone here. He's going to be looking for that double play ball. He's going to be looking for a ground ball, something at the middle for his two infielders that know each other so well to be able to flip them each to each other.
Yep. One of those scenarios where a lot of different things can happen. Double play will end it all. No score. Crushers still lead something over the fence, and it's 3-0, 3-1 Carp.
Yeah, right now that strikeout is a big strikeout. It's keeping the inning at the 0.
So Carroll and Hernandez probably working as a tandem for the first time. Big swing and a miss as he... Well, that was a nice one underneath the bat. 0-2. So Carroll has got Rozier exactly where he wants him at the moment. What's he going to do to bring it home?
Well, that was a nice tight slider that kept low and hard in. He's probably going to want to go back to it, but he's probably going to look to set him up with something else first. Maybe a high fastball here.
Bingo.
Now I'd be looking for that slider that he missed on the other one. Something low and away. Yep. Try to get worst case scenario. Probably if he swings, it's going to probably be a ground ball to second base. If not, he's hoping for the strikeout. At the same time, I think you might see the first baseman Mckee running on this one.
And that's exactly what Carroll thought. Just decided to keep him honest.
What we've seen so far, the Carp have been awfully aggressive with their hit and run and their running.
Yeah, I think it's the kind of game where you have to be aggressive. This is not one to sit back. You just, opportunities there, you go for it.
There's that slider, and great job by Angus Rozier to get a piece of it and
he
foul it off.
He got a bit of it, and that one's on Bite HQ on the batting cage we've got here. Sky's starting to clear a little bit breezy, just trying to pick, there's no flags up tonight, which is usually something the home team does to fool the visiting team. I'm not sure how that works with an internal competition. Rozier, 21 RBI, 4 home runs in the Baseball SA comp last year. Puts that one deep to left. Here comes the tag. Here comes the play at the plate. Going to be pretty close. I reckon he's got him cold. Yes, sir. There's your inning. Carp get 2 on. They leave 2 there. It is the Denmark Crushers 1, the Carp 0. This is Super League Baseball Adelaide, thanks to Spacequake Sports. Welcome back, folks. Top of the second, the Denmark Crushers leading the Carp 1-0. This is Super League Baseball Adelaide coming to you live from Active Display Stadium. Nick Hutchings into his second inning of work. He's got Todd McDonald to deal with, I believe. Now, this is going to be interesting because they're going to be teammates in bike colours. Todd coming across from Queensland.
Ball outside. Yeah, he's an unknown commodity to any of the guys, local guys at least, so they won't, pitching to him would be a little different. The former invitee of the Texas Rangers and getting a chance over here in Adelaide and with the bite as well this year.
Hutchings trying to work something on that outside corner, just got a little edge of it.
Caught the black perfectly there. He went for it the first time, just missed, came back with another fastball on the outside and evened the count at 1-1.
Now I got this right. McDonald's been assigned to Southern Districts. Hutchings was Southern Districts, so we've got our first teammate v teammate little battle we've got here.
Yeah, this will be an interesting inning to say we got the teammates versus teammates, and if we get all the way down to the bottom here, we're going to have a brother versus brother at bat.
Oh yes, yes indeed. That one is fouled away. Of course, the Baseball SA Div 1 season started up last Saturday and Sunday. We had a triple header here, Div 3, Div 2, Div 1, the grand final rematch, and the Port Magpies came from 7-4 down to beat up on Goodwood 12-7. We'll give you the other scores as we go through here. It's another foul. So the count's 2-2, none out. Crushers a 1-0 lead.
Hutchings is just working away. He obviously knows a little bit about McDonald. Maybe he's got some power inside. He's thrown 3 fastballs all in the outside corner, and then that one slider, he hung a little bit that McDonald just missed and followed straight back. Another fastball outside, so he's going to continue to stay away with a full count pitcher. Can't see him going into anything but another fastball, and it's going to be probably on that outside corner looking for that black like he had for the first strike.
So Hutchings the stretch, and again, his line has deviated maybe 40 centimetres, I reckon. He's not doing anything width-wise. It's all around about the same height too, but
yeah, his height is good. He's got it in the zone. It's just outside. He's staying open a little bit too long right now.
So that one hit right towards second. This is Jay Sanderson, clean pickup, and we've got our first out for the Crushers in the second dig. You can see the time clock underneath the ball and strike count. That's important because the games are timed to our max, because there is a mandatory break and then there's a second game, and that will be between the Clippers and the Wasps tonight, and we all have to get some sleep before work tomorrow.
The 2-hour limit shouldn't be new to the veterans of the SABL, the players that have played in their last few years, because when there was midweek games, it was a 2-hour limit as well.
Yeah. So some slightly different rules, as we've got Travis Underhill, who's the designated hitter for the Crushers, batting 7 tonight. 27 RBIs. No home runs that I could find, which was interesting.
Yeah, the product of East Orange had a nice year last year. Slashed a 339 average and 118 at bats, so he was in the top part of the order probably every game for them, and had great on base, great RBIs. Doesn't strike out very often.
Yep, only 7. Was it 7? Yes, 7 for that length of time. He's put that one over the pitcher's head. He's found the nice pickup in the end by Sanderson, but he was facing the wrong way, too far back. That was always going to be a hit. And as they did in the first inning, the Crushers have got a man on.
Yeah, another batter that Nick Hutchings is continuing to pound the outside on, and he gets a slow roller up the middle that was just perfectly placed. There's the 339 batting average that Underhill has. He's got high average, lots of hits, but his extra base hits are low, so it's probably a lot of slashes and perfect spots to get on base.
That's it. Sometimes it's just about where you hit them, not how hard. As Nick Talbot comes in, and I've been lucky, Robin, calling a lot of firsts with baseball at this venue. Called the very first game here, Woodville Senators, Kensington. It was an audition. Okay, managed to pass. They're still letting me call the occasional game. And Nick Talbot was the first at bat, facing Josh Tolles from the Senators. And he has been, well, he's another experienced legend, and what is a team of very experienced players here for the Crushers. Yeah,
Nick Talbot has multiple awards across Adelaide, all the way from being a young child and up. He's been an extremely reliable veteran, to say, over the last number of years for the Kensington Cardinals, and after one one game this year, I'm sure he'll probably be going in for another season.
Yeah, so he's a marquee player. 34 games played last year, averaged 289, but his slugging was 492, which means that when he did get hold of it, he got hold of it. He usually added some bases to it. 22 RBI, 6 home runs. He's got a man at first to try and get around. 1 out, down 1-2 in the count. As Hutchings winds up, induces the swing, and for Hutchings that is strikeout number 1, and probably he'll breathe a sigh of relief because everything that's been happening so far has been put in play.
Yeah, he came there, he went away again with another pitch to the righty, but that was a devastating slider just on the outside. A tight spin on it, looked like a fastball all the way into Talbot, and then just dropped off the table at the last second.
That's what we're waiting for. They've been doing this probably since preschool, brother against brother. And Nick gets the first point, gets a swing out of brother Matt.
Yeah, he challenged him with a fastball, pretty much right down the middle, and it's kind of, here you go.
I'm going to give you my best, see what you can do with it.
See if he gets another one of them. He knows that his brother can hit.
Must have a chat to get our speed going back. Would have liked to have seen what was on that.
Yeah, he's probably, it looks like he's got an extra little mile an hour
saved for his bro
on here, saving it. Yeah, he's in his second inning too, so he's got one more out left before it's the end of his night. So he might be letting everything out here.
Yep. And he likes working the outside, Nick, from the limited sample size I've seen this season.
Well, it's hard to hit home runs when you pound the ball away. But just overthrowing a little bit right now. He's leaving that fastball up. He's probably a little excited facing his brother, and he knows that he wants to get out of this inning clean.
That one, the right down King William Street, and Matt took that one, but it missed the plate. 3-1. So now Matt, it's in his favour. Must check who's the younger and who's the older. Matt looks a slight bit bigger from here. That's a big hit. That's going to be Stave, I reckon. Just
down the line.
This could actually, Underhill's got a bit of work to do. He's going to swing around second. He's going to stay at third. And Hutchings, well, he took the first pitch strike, but he got the last pitch laugh because he's put that into left. And now it's 2 on, 2 out, and the Crushers are threatening.
Yeah, he's gonna enjoy that hit off his brother. For probably let him know about it. I'm gonna guess they probably carpooled in from Southern Districts. They're gonna let him know about it all the way home, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's down my part of the world. Happy Valley's where I'm based. Somewhere just over down a long home run shot down the back of the hills there.
We're back to the top of the order here at the import, Anthony Herrera. So
Herrera singled to left. Already second at bat. He's going to waste no time. Takes the first pitch strike.
Yeah, he had a big swing there. He was looking fastball. He got his fastball. It was just a little bit up, so he just got under a little bit. He'll be looking for another one a little bit later in the count here.
Right here. Showed some patience that one sailed a little bit high. So all new jumpers and numbers to deal with. The Carp are in the red, the Crushers in the purple, the Clippers in blue, and the Wasps in gold, I'm going to call it. You'll see those two teams. Fraser Feist and Rob will give you the call of that one. That will be an 8:30 start local.
Yeah, we'll probably be just getting the tail light of the sun for that, and then we'll have some baseball under the lights tonight.
Yeah, daylight saving just kicked in last Sunday. So the day is beautifully longer now. Perfect time for some baseball. And whilst it's cool and a little bit breezy, this wouldn't affect the playing. The players wouldn't be changing their strategy at all with these conditions. Just T-shirt under the top, that would be about it.
Yeah, no, it's still a beautiful night. It's a little cool, but it'll help the pitchers a little bit. Keep them a little drier. Another fastball right on the outside corner that he swung through.
This is something that Fraser and I call a Richie.
Okay.
Richie Bano, famous cricket commentator, used to pronounce his 2s, 2 for 22. So when we see the scoreboard, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
2 men on base.
2 men on is a double Richie. That's what we call it. Nobody else does it, just us. But you're part of the club now, so.
Oh, excellent. feel honored.
And you usually say when that happens, something happens, and it does.
Just under the glove of Cakebread.
Just under second. This will bring one. This will bring two. A 2 RBI single, and it's 3-0 Crushers by that much. And
just under the glove.
You know, that could have been in the glove to first base, out, end of inning, no run. But instead, it's 2 runs on the board. And Hutchings was hoping to get out of that second innings early, and now he's got a manager's conference to have a chat about. And that would be it. Nick Hutchings gets the early night.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to the Kensington player Nick Carfara here, coming out of the bullpen. This will be his first shot at Division I baseball this year. He had a little bit of time last year. He had 11 innings, which a little higher ERA of 8.18. Did most of his pitching in Division II, but another pitcher that can definitely put up some fastballs with velocity, a nice tight slider, and a changeup that when he's on, guys are going to have a hard time hitting it. It kind of disappears right at the end, right before it gets to the strike zone.
And just a note, we have to say it on Herrera, he was the #1 draft pick, and you have to say he's earning what the money that #1 draft picks will get. He's 2 from 2.
2 for 2 with 2 singles. You know, they're not the hard hit line drive ones that you want, but you know, when you're being behind in the count, you do what you know, first time up, he got the single to set the table. He scored the run, got on for his teammates. There with 2 outs, he had a couple guys in scoring position and found just enough of the hole on the right-hand side to get himself a couple RBIs and give his team a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, not much to spare on that. So we go to Josh Cakebread, who'll come to the plate.
Left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher. Got an extra little hole on the right-hand side, so you know he'll be looking to try to pull a ball into right field, try to get the runner to go first to third with a single here. If he can find a gap, Herrera's got some speed. He looks like he's going to be able to fly, so if he can find a gap here, you might see them try something at the plate.
Yeah, well, we saw that the last time we had a man on first. We saw the double into left, which got Underhill all the way around to third. He scored.
Before it gets ahead with a nice fastball right on the outside corner. Mason Clavel sets his whole body up there, makes the umpire easy for him to call.
So you're based at Kensington. That's one of your places. That one is hit towards second. This time Sanderson's got the clean grab. And that'll do it for the second, but not before the Dunmark Crushers add another 2. They're taking an early lead in this one. It is the Crushers 3, the Carp 0. This is Super League Baseball Adelaide. Welcome back, folks. Hope you're enjoying Super League Baseball. What a wonderful way to spend a Wednesday night, enjoying some great baseball. Of course, it's that time of year. Major League Baseball playoffs. You got a team in the fight this year, Rob?
My team just was eliminated. My team's been the Atlanta Braves for a lot of years. A lot of good things coming.
You bet.
But a little disappointing to see them lose.
Well, they did get one game up on the Dodgers, and look, I'm not saying this because they're having a heck of a season, because Fraser will attest I've put up with it for the last few years. Fraser's a Boston Red Sox fan, so I expect him to be pretty happy
yes.
today.
Yeah, yeah.
As there's a high hit to centre, looks to be playable. And it is. Matt Hutchings back there for the catch, and that is a pretty quick retirement of Ryan Muggleton.
Yeah, David Carroll's in his second inning of work here. Like you mentioned before, he's from the Gawler Rangers. He's the import coach and pitcher this year. Congratulations to the Gawler Rangers baseball family for their first ever Division II win this past weekend. David Carroll was on the mound, so he's obviously got them a little energized, enthused, and ready to play this year.
Yeah, well, great to see, because you hope one day, in the who knows, sometime down the track, that the Rangers are going to be in Div 1 with that nice 14-team league, and no one has to buy anymore.
Yeah,
there's a hard hit down the left field line. And so this is going to bring some runs, but there's no one on base. Jay Sanderson just clobbered that one.
Jay Sanderson, another what I would call a professional hitter out of East Torrance. 330 last year and 90 at bat, 30 hits. Again, not a lot, 7 doubles, 1 home run, not a lot of extra base hits, but just fills up the scorecard with single after single. He's always on base. Definitely a great addition for the Carp to have in the bottom of their order there.
Yeah, he's been busy collecting them at second. Finally gets to deliver one of his own. Mason Clavel, part of this young, what I call the baby bite lineup. Catcher for Glenelg, marquee player, takes a swing and a miss at a very low one.
Yeah, I think this upcoming season, the Bite are going to expect some things out of Mason Clavel. He had a nice little run with them last year. Young kid, can do multiple positions, outfield, third base, second, catcher.
Yeah, they brought in Mitch Edwards from the Sydney Blue Sox. He's probably going to be their starting catch, because Bass Noiser enters. There's a nice play towards the hot corner. Oh, beautifully done, Anthony Herrera. He's done great with the bat. He's not bad with the glove either.
Yeah, he's learning up to that #1 pick potential. He was an infielder and pitcher in college, but he was more a second baseman, shortstop. So moving over to the hot corner, he definitely showing he can pick it there too.
He just leapt on that like lightning. So
here's one of the super utility players in Adelaide, Nathan Vanderlinden. He can play the outfield, anywhere on the infield, pitch, swing from both sides of the plate. Guy pretty much does everything.
Commentator's nightmare, because you never know where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, and one of the frustrating things when you're pitching against him is he knows the strike zone so well. So, he takes balls that he knows are strikes. He takes balls that are balls. He's looking for that one pitch that he wants.
So that one is hit well towards the back, where I usually say that the people who come to their first baseball game usually park, because those that come regularly know not to park that close.
Yeah, hopefully nobody is out enjoying a baseball game and go home and find a nice big baseball in their windshield.
That's foul.
Ball.
Okay, that was close. First base umpire right on the money.
Yeah, he had perfect view on that. He was right there, and he's able to easily tell that was probably a good half a foot foul.
Yeah, the line sort of, from our view up here, it just sort of disappears after the infield dirt, but we're sure there's one out there somewhere to the foul pole.
Yeah, I can see the one in left, so I'm going to assume there's one in right down there too.
Had a bit of drama last year with those foul poles. We'll share that if we get a sec. But right now it's a 1-2 count on Van der Linden, 2 out. So Carroll trying to end his work for the day. Hutchings strike couldn't quite get there, and just as well Carroll had on to that, because there was no one on second to pick it up.
Yeah, it looked like he was just going to hold and try to get him just to step out or something, and when he didn't, he just figured he'd spin and kind of slow everything down himself.
Yeah, Creswell and Cakebread don't look particularly concerned about the man at second. Just got a piece of that slider. And probably got away with one there. It looked like a slider up that he was probably lucky that Van der Linden just missed that, because that could have been out in left field gap there. Just couldn't grapple it in time. We're at the bottom of the second of a 7-inning game. The Crushers are up 3-0. Carp need a run. They got a man on second but with 2 out, and there's your 3rd strike, and that'll do it. So the Crushers threaten and score, the Carp threaten and leave a 3rd man on base in scoring position. We will take a break. It's the bottom of 2. This is Super League Baseball Adelaide.
Got 2 little horns and they give me a little bit.
Welcome back, folks. You're watching the inaugural night of Super League Baseball Adelaide. 4 teams comprising the cream of South Australian baseball talent. The team in red you're watching there, they are the Carp. They're playing the Denmark Crushers, and thus far the Crushers are doing the job. 1 run in the first, 2 in the second, and they have a 3-0 lead. So just checking, this is your lad, Nick Kafura. You're doing some work at the Cardinals of Kensington.
Yeah, this year I'm over in Kensington. I'm going to be working with the pitchers as pitching coach, helping out as the assistant coach on some of their Div 1 and Div 2. I'll be looking after an under 11 team this year, which will be new for me.
That's fun.
Yeah, it'll be new for me. A nice challenge that I'm excited to take over and do.
I love Aussie rules. I deal with the Oz, what they call Oz kickers, which is about 5 to 8.
Oh, okay.
And they go to Adelaide Oval and play half-time of the big AFL games in front of 40,000 people. And boy,
wow.
They get excited. But just dealing with the kids, it refreshes your love for the sport.
Yeah, this is going to be a first for myself working with kids that young. Usually it's the youngest I've done is like 16 years old or so.
And this is a ball.
Yeah.
So
I can do that with these guys though too.
So where are we at now? We're back to
Carrefour's back to Linden Hernandez here.
Hernandez.
Going to be heart of the order here for Carrefour to face here. 3-4-5. Linden with the double down the right field line. His first at bat, drove in a run, got the Denmark Crushers on the board.
So slowly gathering, and won't be too far from getting into the change rooms. We're about an hour and 3/4 away from our second game. Fraser Fife will be in about an hour and a half, I'm sure. As Hernandez just showing some good patience. He has the first met Linden, he was playing for the Bite. Now there was a story with him. I think he came out for some coaching and then found the girl of his dreams and just hasn't left, or something of that nature.
That's a story that I've heard too over the last few years that I've been here. Whoa, just inside a little bit. Yeah, Landon, from talking to him, he came over from the U.S. He was played some minor league ball after getting drafted and played some indie ball, but came over to Australia and he just fell in love with the city and with the culture, and he met that special someone, and they just had a child last year. So congratulations again to them. As you guys may see there, one of the speed up rules that we have in these night games is anytime the catcher gets on, you can have a designator runner for the catcher.
So they don't have to waste time getting the gear ready between innings and just speed up that little bit. And it's funny watching I had a chance to watch a few of the playoff games, and gee, they're taking a while. 3 hours is a short one for a playoff game at the moment.
Yeah, they seem to enjoy taking a little bit of time. They're trying to speed up the game a little bit, but there goes the runner. Hit and run.
Nice hit towards between centre and left. They're getting back there in the end. Good catch by the centre fielder, who we have as Ben keeping.
Yeah, it's a nice job by keeping track in that ball.
So
out to his right there, a little bit drifting back behind him, and he did a nice job tracking that down, getting it in, and keeping the runner at first.
So runner at first. One of the things we do miss with these jerseys, there's no number on the front. So we'll let you know who that is when we have a number. But right now it is Jeremy Creswell wearing number 1, puts that one foul. So the way the Super League is going to work is it's going to be 3-round robin series, 9 Wednesday nights in succession. There's a double header, and then the top team goes straight through to the grand final on December 19, And the second and third teams will play in the preliminary final on December 12. So some teams will get 10 games, one will get 11. So that one is Bob. Little flare, working hard. Sanderson did great. And just missed on the throw. Could have been the double play. The pinch runner, aka the Phantom. Well, we got a number. That's Charlie Ashcroft, pitcher from East Torrens. Almost caught spectating out there.
Yeah, sometimes why pitchers aren't some of the best people to put out on the bases. Being a former pitcher, don't always know what we're doing out there.
That said, and I say this, it's so easy to commentate up here. If that had been dropped, he's got to scamper to second. He doesn't want to be stuck on. So you are in the no man's land of where you're supposed to be with that.
Yeah, from his angle, it probably looked like it was going to drop.
Todd McDonald wastes no time, sends one to left, and that's the quickest inning we have had thus far. Again, the Crushers get one on. This time they strand them, but it's done. Mark Crushers 3, the Carp 0. You're watching Super League Baseball Adelaide. Here's a replay of the flyout. Welcome back, folks. We're down to the bottom of the third of the first ever Super League Baseball Adelaide game. We've got a change in the Crushers pitching because, well, first pitcher Carroll went the full 2 innings. Joel Chapman from West Torrens, pick number 17 in the draft, and sort of how these teams were put together. Everyone, we had the general managers appointed, and then we had some marquee players recruited, and then it was all put names in a hat and away we went in a big draft.
Yeah, Chapman's on here in relief. He just fills up the strike zone. Last year he was West Torrens' #1 pitcher. He was 7-1 with a 3.75 ERA in 81 innings. Just goes out and wins. Doesn't walk a lot of batters, and that carried into Czech baseball this past summer for him too.
65 strikeouts on the season. He's got Bull on account at the moment of 2-1, so Bull with the advantage here. Lad from Headley and Grange.
Yeah, young kid. This is another one of those young kids that's first getting. He had 2 at-bats last year in Div 1, so this is a chance to really get into it.
2 games, 2 at-bats.
He's worked a full count here against a pitcher who, you know, like I said, he walked a few last year, not many, and then in Czech Republic this past year in 77 innings, he only walked 10 batters.
Wow, and of course the Czech Republic had a couple of players there in that championship game. So in Europe, you've got obviously France, Germany, Czechoslovakia, and Holland. Are they the 4 main countries?
For the European baseball, Holland probably has the most prolific of baseball. Germany is very good. Czech Republic is getting so much better. The stadiums they have there are almost minor league stadiums. They get lots of sponsors from their local clubs, like their local cities, and they really put it getting into baseball in Czech Republic.
Full count. Bull shows patience beyond his years, watches that one sail low and finds himself on first, and well, first up walk for Chapman.
You can see the catcher there, Linden Hernandez, veteran catcher. He thought that was a strike. He was looking to already throw the ball down to third, but the umpire thought differently, and it's his decision today.
Oh, big surprise there. The catcher thinks it's a strike.
We're back to the order here with Ben Keeping from Glenelg.
So it's taken a while for the Carp to get back. We're at the bottom of the third. Keeping single to right got things underway. He was one of 3 stranded base runners the Carp have left on thus far.
Yeah, first inning, he was thrown out at the plate. There's a line drive chopper. Oh, thought for sure the veterans up the middle were going to turn another.
Yeah, well, that's a beautiful work by Jeremy Creswell at short in the dirt. We'll see the replay here, courtesy, of course, of Spacequake Sports.
Beautiful job of Creswell to get to that ball, quick to his feet. Just a young kid running from first to second. He's got some speed.
Yep, he was off with the crack of the bat on that one.
See if the Carp play it the same way they did in the first inning. Mckee laid one down in the first inning that was then thrown away. See if they play the small ball again.
Yeah, that was probably the best. No, he's going to go long distance, heading out for 390 feet. Only went about 360, and that's going to be a flyway to centre. On the tag, well, the Carp have men on the corners with 1 out. So we've been here before.
Well, I think we actually had a change there. I believe that last batter was Blake Farr, who hit the fly ball deep to center. So they've made some changes already, some of these teams.
Yeah, this is what's going to keep us honest. So you need a 3-man crew, one to just keep track of who's actually out there. This is certainly Wilson Lee wanting a second at bat after striking out first time round. So really, if the Carp are to get back in the game, this is their opportunity.
Yeah, they'll need something out of Wilson Lee here, something, at least a fly ball deep to get them a run, get on the board, and just take a little of that momentum back.
Yeah, just get something. And of course, it does put pressure on Chapman. Anything that passes Hernandez, not that anything looks like passing Hernandez at the moment, could be a run. Ball's got some speed, only 90 feet away.
Good change up there from Chapman. Kept it low and inside. Wilson Lee just got on top and fouled it off.
So 1-2 the count. We saw the Crushers get a key second out strikeout last time round. That was also on Lee, so it's sort of seeing deja vu all over again in some of these scenarios.
Yeah, that's what you want for your 3, 4, 5 hitters. You want to give them the opportunity to drive in runs, and then it's up to them to produce the results for you.
This is going to be a bouncing ball. Runners are off. One is going to score. Double play, maybe. No, none's going to go safe. Run will count. And the fate of the run hinged to whether that was a double play or not, but Bull is the first run scorer. Walked.
Yeah, great job there again by Cakebread and Croswell. It was a very clean turn at second base. Wilson Lee just smelling an RBI and just beat it out at first base.
Rozier and Hernandez exchanging a few words, and I couldn't quite get close enough to see whether it was just, how you doing, mate, how's the wife, how's the kids, or whether it was something a little bit more of gamesmanship.
Knowing the two of them, it's probably more like where they're going for dinner and stuff like that on the weekend. They're two of the nicest guys that are around the SABL.
Rozier will take a first pitch strike from Chapman. So Carp on the board, and they've got a man on and first, 2 out. Rozier, he puts this over the fence. We've got a tied ball game.
Quick pitch there from Chapman. Outside, held it a little long.
Very keen that we get a home run in the first game, so Fraser doesn't get to call the first one. You find Fraser and I do have this little bit of rivalry going back and forth. Oh, it's not nice.
Got in him just in on the shoulder. Was lucky to get his shoulder up there, otherwise that was going to be close to the head there. But
well, he does have a little bit of protection with all that hair, you have to say, but it won't do much against a baseball of that speed.
Yeah, he's got the full beard and the long flowing hair. It's a new look for Angus Rozier this year.
He's gone up a helmet size just to fit it all in.
Yeah, here's the power hitting Ryan Muggleton from West Torrens. He had some big home runs here. Oh, chopper to third base. Herrera going to come and makes the play. Double clutch. Beautiful throw.
That is a piece of beauty, Herrera, with speed. The smooth throw, right on the money, right in the nick of time. And he's ended another Carp inning. But the Carp are on the board. It is 3-1 Crushers. We will take a break. Be back with the fourth. This is Super League Baseball Adelaide.
Their specialised knowledge, ability to deliver and professionalism are keys to our successful relationship. A friendly and experienced team.
She got two little horns and they give me a little
Welcome back, everybody. You're looking live at Active Display Stadium. Wednesday night baseball, the inaugural round of Super League Baseball Adelaide. You're with Phil Hurd and Rob Ushi. We're loving bringing this one to you. It's the Dunmark Crushers. Scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Carp have responded in the third to make it a 2-run game. It's the Crushers 3, the Carp were 1. And now we're looking back at Underhill to have his second bat, single to centre and scored. He's facing the pitching of Kafora, who's working into his third inning. He had a bit of the second, all of the third, he'll have a bit of the fourth, and then he has to come out.
Yeah, with the rules here, with the 6-out maximum, he did face one batter. He got 1 out in his first inning. He got his 3, so he's got 2 outs in this inning, and then they'll be turning the ball over to the bullpen.
So, he may end the inning if he can get a double play on the second out. We'll see.
For him, he'd love it. Actually, he'd prefer probably not to let any base runners on
but that's true.
to start
you
with.
Can't have a double play without a base runner, I guess.
Yeah, there's a fastball that just missed just on the outside there.
So Underhill comes in, batting .339, as you mentioned, 27 RBIs, just the 7 strikeouts. You get the feeling he makes a lot of contact. Looked at that one and he was off to first, but nothing doing. We got ourselves a full count.
Yeah, it was a nice job there by, I believe that's Blake Farr back there behind the plate. We haven't had all the changes. I do see a couple new bodies out there in different places. And there's going to be strike 3 on the outside corner fastball.
So that is first strikeout, I think, to Carfuno. And we go to Nick Talbot back at the plate. He was a strikeout at his first at-bat. Would like to improve that. The light's starting to come on here. They'll start to take gradual effect. The sun probably about 20 minutes to half an hour from fully setting. Picturesque place here. Some great sunset pictures as Talbot just sends that one foul down the left field line towards the Dunmark Crushers bullpen.
And there's another one of these battles that you alluded to earlier with 2 players from the same team. Both Kensington Cardinal players. Know each other fairly well, but probably haven't faced each other a fair amount.
Well, I guess someone, when they're doing the batting practice, they're not really throwing in anger, are they? As on this occasion, Talbot gets the batter right up the middle with that hit. And I'll tell you, they've done it every inning, the Crushers. They've managed, in fact, every team, every inning has got someone on so far. No team's been retired in order in the history of Super Baseball Adelaide.
The 3+ innings that we're into.
The 1 hour, yeah, we're almost an hour into this one.
Well, we could see something rare here. If he can get a double play, that's going to be 7 outs that he's going to acquire.
Well, he's got the 1 out. Let's see what we can do here. Bit hard to have a double play with a high fly to centre. And that's going to be easily taken. And that will be 2 away. And that should be a change in pitcher, we think. Maybe not. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, here comes manager Paul Green out to the bullpen. He's going to make a call to call down the line.
Don't forget, folks, we're not that far away from the Adelaide Bite season. The Bite start 5 weeks tomorrow. Thursday, November 15th, up at the Brisbane Bandits, the three-peat champions up there. The Bite's first home series will be right here at Active Display Stadium against the Melbourne Aces, the arch rivals. First pitch 7:20, Thursday, November 22, only 43 days away. Then there'll be games Friday night, Saturday night and 2 p.m. Sunday. Plenty of changes in the ABL this season. 2 new teams, Geelong Korea and the Auckland Tuatara, the league truly going international. We've gone divisional as well, the Northeast Division, Auckland, Brisbane, Canberra, Sydney, Adelaide will join Geelong, Korea, Melbourne and Perth in the Southwest. Still a 40-game season, 5 home weekends, 5 on the road. And it's a 10-team comp. 5 teams will make the playoffs. The top 2 teams in each division, and then the next best record. And that next best record and the runner-up with the worst record, well, they'll be in a midweek wildcard game Wednesday, January 23rd, before the division winners host the semis. The ABLCS, great to see, will be shared between the 2 participating teams. And you'll see a lot of baseball this year on Fox Sports. 40 games scheduled to be broadcast through the season, which is about 1 a night, and I assume the playoffs so far. What are you looking forward to seeing with the Bite this year, Rob?
It's going to be how the young players have improved. It looked like last year, it was a year that not everyone probably was looking forward to when the season started, and then they let the young players run, and that was it's always good for such young talent to get their foot wet, and now it'll be time for them to step up. And the man taking the mound here for the Carp, number 13, Tyson Mckee, is going to be one who's a hopeful for the Bite bullpen this year. He's going to get a look from manager Chris Tank Adamson, and he did have some numbers last year. He performed well in his opportunities, and he's going to be a start right here. If he can cruise through, get some outs here to help his foot already into that bullpen for opening weekend.
Alrighty, here we go, wasting no time. Having a big swing, Herrera, who's 2 from 2 thus far, and has had a couple of web gem fielding plays in the hot corner, and seems to enjoy the lead, the situation with a man on base. Puts that one high. This might be his first out tonight. Looks eminently playable to centre. It is, and there you have it.
Another good job from the Carp pitchers.
So for the again, the Crushers get one.
Got 2 little horns and they give me a little bit.
Alrighty, here we go, bottom of the 4th. Chapman into his 2nd inning of work. This looks like Sanderson still there.
Yeah, line drive double down left field line, his first at bat. So now they're going to keep working him away, try to find that outside corner, hopefully get him to roll over on something instead of scalding a ball down another line.
They seem to enjoy hitting it right down centre throw. This one's going to hold up in the breeze, little Bermuda triangle, but in the end, Cakebread, showing his experience, called everyone off and said, "My ball."
Yeah, good choice by the group when they're going out there, turning over to the veteran to make the catch. You know he's going to be a sure-handed player out there.
Even going with the flight of the ball, he had it all the way. Mason Clavel comes to the plate. One out, no one on. Grounded out to third at his first at bat. Takes a first pitch strike.
Chapman gets ahead nicely with a curveball on the inside there. Going to go back outside with another curveball. This time he misses.
Yep, so we're talking about the bite before. We'll give him a few mentions between pitches. They've got a couple of exciting new recruits. As that one is hit foul. Aaron Whitefield is probably the big one coming over from Brisbane, under 23 World Cup player. There's 6 players involved with the bite that are going over to Mexico. What a pre-season for them to wear the green and gold. And hopefully they'll be primed and raring.
Yeah, actually, when I saw the announcement the other day of that under-23 team, a couple of surprises on there were the new players for the bite in Whitfield and Edwards. And not that they were on the team, but it actually surprised me that they were under-23 still.
Yes.
These guys have lots of experience playing overseas with affiliated baseball teams.
Grounder to Creswell. Bread and butter for the veteran. And that's 2 away. Mitch Edwards is the other one, catcher from the Sydney Blue Sox. We've gone to Germany. Marcus Solbach, who's spent a bit of time in the ABL about 5 years back. He's back in town. A couple of American pitchers, Ryan Chafee, 30-year-old in the Angels and Mariners system. Kurt Heyer, 27-year-old. And we mentioned Todd McDonald, who yet to make his ABL debut, 22-year-old. Part of the Rangers system before injury, got the better of him, looking to make a comeback and has chosen West Beach to do that.
Yeah, I think the Bite fans are going to be pleasantly surprised with Ryan Chafee when they see him pitch. He was a closer in Winnipeg 2 years ago. Got to see him a little bit. I'm from Winnipeg, so when he was there with the Winnipeg Goldeyes, got to see him pitch a fair amount. And he throws the ball hard. He spots up, and he's just going to come at you. He doesn't really care who you are. He's just, here you go.
Yeah, reputations don't count for much, as that one is right back at Croswell. This one had time for a fumble and still got there. That'll do it. That was a very quick 1, 2, 3. First time, if I've got it right, every team retired in order.
Yeah, it was a perfect 1, 2, 3, and you know, the way Cakebread played that ball, it ate him up a little bit. Didn't panic. He found it between his feet. Perfect throw over to first.
Alrighty, that'll do it for the 4th. It's the Crushers 3, the Carp 1. This is Super League Baseball Adelaide.
Specialised knowledge, ability to deliver and professionalism are keys to our successful relationship, a friendly and experienced team.
She got 2 little horns and they give me a little bit.
Well, welcome back, folks. We're into the 5th of the inaugural game. The ground here, Active Display Stadium, now completely covered in shadow as the sun slowly but surely sets on another October day here in the South Australian capital. The lights will take their effect as we go on. It is the Crushers with a 3-1 lead. Mckee back to work a little bit more. We were very glad about that, Rob. We thought it wouldn't be fair just to throw 2 pitches and be done for the night. just warming up.
Yeah, you want to get a little more pitching time than 2 pitches, but at the same time, you want to help your team and do your job. And he did it last inning. Now he's hoping for another clean inning so he can turn it over to the offense, and maybe they can get a couple runs and get this thing tied up.
So baseball really truly underway now. Div 1 started last weekend, round 2 coming up this weekend. Super League underway, the bite 5 weeks away. As that one is hit up towards left, coming in hard and getting it, Wilson Lee.
Yeah, nice track there by Wilson Lee in left field. It's a long way to run from down. I mean, that's deep third base almost there in foul territory. So he had a long way to go on that. Wind blowing a little bit and nicely tracked down.
He almost ended up in the infield dirt. He had to come in that far. So, yeah, plenty of baseball coming up. Don't forget, folks, you can be part of it right here at West Beach. Adelaide Bite membership, categories for everyone. Full season, reserve seating, kids, concession. Go through some of the categories shortly. As really no one is, you notice the patient at the plate has totally been lost in the last few innings. I think everyone's having a swing at a first pitch at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion on the field there. Very high pop-up. The catcher obviously had no idea where it was. There's at that point, it's up to the pitcher to be dictating to the infielders or the catcher where the ball is and what to do with it. But I can guarantee Tyson knew that ball was well foul, so he wasn't really too worried about.
So this is Linden Hernandez at the plate. So memberships, pre-season reserve seat membership, $250. That's across all 20 Bite home games. You get your own seat, personalised members card, lanyard, sticker, members hat. Can't go without the members hat, as Hernandez has a really good cut of that one.
That was a beautiful change up there. Yeah, he started him off with a fastball, then he went to the curveball, and then that time he pulled the string a little bit, and Landon was obviously looking for another fastball. He came out of his shoes, as they say.
And where did it go? 10% discount on merchandise, plenty of experience, invitations, and priority access to finals. That's important as well. Good to see we're thinking finals, priority access. That is $250 an adult, $100 for a child. General membership, adult $175. But if you can't get to every game, we've got packs for you as well. 10-game packs for $110, 4 games for $50, which includes your ticket and some great items there, as Hernandez had to get out of that one.
Yeah, buzzed the tower a little bit there. Probably looking to go low and away with something now. You're looking for that curveball probably on the outside corner. Try to get him to chase after coming up and in. And
Gus will be back. The Bite Kids Club membership, just $20. Full season general admission, plus your kids membership kit, as Hernandez pops that one up towards first base. Again, plenty of red moving, and look at the wind. Oh, out it, lost it. Down in the dirt. And foul.
That's just a foul ball.
Landon's going to get a second life here with that foul ball. He got it high enough. The wind started carrying it a little bit, and that's going to be a tough ball to track. But first baseman, he'll tell you he should have caught it. But no, so now he's hoping his pitcher helps him out with a little bit here.
Yeah, certainly from what we're seeing with the pop-ups and those plays, the wind is blowing in tonight. It's one of those nights where home runs might just be a rarity. And just to wrap up on the Bite membership, the kids membership is 15 years of under. To find out more, go to adelaidebite.com.au. Click on the membership link. Or you can phone 088431 New season, get my tongue out of third gear. 088431 0441. Call some play-by-play, right? Let's just rearrange some things.
Maybe they'll flash it up on the screen for us, and then it'll make it easier. Oh, it's a very nice curveball there. It's a great battle by Landon Hernandez. He's fouled off 4 straight pitches here. He's trying to find something he can handle. He's probably looking to hit another line drive down into right field, hopefully for another double, get himself in scoring position for his teammate again.
2-2 count, 1 out. Hernandez rearranges everything, as batters are prone to do. Everything's got to be in its right spot before you can face the pitcher. Pitches are exactly the same. And another foul. What are we going, 5 now?
That's the 5 straight, yeah. great battle between the two of them. The only thing Tyson's going to be worried about is this is adding to the maximum 40 pitches that you're allowed to throw in the Super League for pitchers. I mean, you get 6 outs, but if it takes you 40 pitches to throw 2, then that's all you get.
He's up to about 10 on this at bat. That one, did he swing? No.
No. First base umpire says that he held the ball, held the bat.
Full count.
Threw it down just to make sure that he didn't go. He didn't get the look of going further. This will be the 12th pitch of this at bat. Definitely a great battle between a young Bite helpful and former Bite alumni.
Mckee, 6.
Linden Hernandez showing exactly why he has professional at bats, and he's such a good player, and he's been such a good player in Adelaide for all the years, whether it be in the SABL, the ABL when he was with the Bite, and being a coach and teaching players. He's showing exactly why he has that pedigree.
This time
and he earns it.
Yeah, bouncer, and this is going to be safe, I reckon, and this is going to get there with a couple of steps to spare as well. Perfectly placed.
Linden Hernandez turned on the wheels there. He might not be looking, I mean, in the Super League, to speed up the rules, we do have designated runners for the catchers, so it looks like it's going to be youngster Jacob Scott going in to run for the Denmark Crushers here. But Landon, he went up that line. He showed those blazing wheels there that he has to beat that out.
Well, it gave Van der Linden. He was running completely away from first base trying to get it. But no, good to see. Good to see the odd infield hit from time to time. And Hernandez will go back to put his catcher's gear on. We're at the top of the 5th. Crushers have got a man on every inning thus far. And they've done enough early to get them home. They got 1 on the first, 2 in the second. Got 1 back in the 3rd, and then it's been all pitches thus far the rest of the way. Clippers and Wasps getting ready. They're just over 2 hours out from getting set. Fraser Fife and Rob will give you that game. So that one is plowed far into the work site.
Yeah, this is the import, Ben Andrews. This is his 3rd at bat tonight. He's 0 for 2. He's got fielder's choice and a fly out to center field, but he's faced 6 pitches in 3 at bats now. So he's obviously very aggressive at the plate. He's got great numbers. He played in Germany this past season, but he does have a little experience in Australia. He did play in Brisbane last year.
3 at bats, 3 different pitches that he's faced in that. So we've got another. So if you're looking at the turning point of this game, it was probably that second out double, the Hutchings brother battle, that has actually been the difference in this ball game.
Yeah, Matt Hutchins won the battle against his brother Nick. They've probably had a few over the years, but at the moment, he's probably got the key hit right now.
So 0-2 the count. Pick-off play at first.
And he's
got
out.
Him! And the Carp are going like that's the end of the inning. I've got the strikeout and the throw out. Yes, indeed. So this is where I usually throw to Fraser with the question, like, okay, so we've got a strikeout and we've got a throw out on the same play. Is that a double play?
Oh yeah, we call that just like a strikeout, throw him out, double play. It's a great job by the catcher, Mason.
They can be the first team to record a win or the first team to be defeated. Interesting how this has all worked. So just for those at home, how this has been all put together, the idea is to provide a bit of a development opportunity outside of the normal baseball SA competition to I guess pick the cream of the crop or some up and comers and just raise the level of competition that they play, which in turn they can take back to their local clubs, or it's also a bit of a warm-up for the guys that hopefully will go and play for the Adelaide Bite as well. Started with appointing coaches and managers for the four sides, or probably coming up with the logos, I guess. First for the Carp, their GM is Mark Haylock, head coach Paul Green. For the Dunmark Crushers, general manager Michael Dunn and head coach Scott Gladstone. Once those two were appointed, then it was a case of each side had 4 marquee players they could select, and you think, gee, that's a pretty good way of doing it, but you have to be a little bit careful because your marquee players are probably the ones that may not be around, as they found with Jordan McArdle off to the World Championships.
Yeah, they selecting the marquee players. You had a couple different strategies. I mean, for the Dunmark Crushers here, their marquees this year were Linden Hernandez and then the veterans Jeremy Cresswell and Josh Cakebread. They did have Jordan McArdle selected, but just with some of his other opportunities that he has, he unfortunately isn't going to be around for the beginning of this season for the Super League.
Yeah,
so they were able to slide in veteran Nick Talbot.
Yeah. Yeah, not about the bad way. Gary Owen, I think, was the other one that was initially selected, then got replaced. As we've got a, well, 2-bouncer to second, and that's a very quick way to work through. Now, do we have a new picture out here for the Crushers?
Yes, it looks like it's Jordy Gross taking over the mound here, number 10 for the Dunmark Crushers. Out of Woodville. Last year he had a 4.72 ERA and 40 innings in Div 1. Pretty much a hit per inning and just under a strikeout. It's fills up the zone, throws strikes, and right there got some ground balls.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, very efficient. 1 pitch, 1 out. That one on the outside. So once we had our GMs, our coaches, our colours, our logos, and our marquee players, as that one has popped up, and we'll set Cakebread a task, and he read it well with it. You can see that wind blowing it in, just giving Cakebread a bit of a challenge. Then it was onto the highway in, and which sounded like a fun night. Let's have a baseball draft. And plenty gathered, and each team had 16 picks. And so that's 64 players added to the marquees. Each got a rookie pick as well, like a development player. And that was September 26th, so what's that, 2 weeks ago, and now they're here playing baseball together.
It's another fly ball from Blake Farr. He had a fly out to center field last time. This time a fly out to the left.
Yeah, that was a very quick innings. They're speeding it up beautifully. That will do it for 5. It is still the Dunmark Crushers 3, the Carp 1. You're watching Super League Baseball.
Fantastic play! Jumps up and robs him of a base hit, and possibly the go-ahead run. Here's the play. They're going to lob it to home, and it gets down, and he's out at home. Here comes the throw. Play it third, and sight. This is hit hard. This is going to left field. This one is back, and it's out of here.
Catch.
Alrighty, we head to the 6th of a 7-inning contest. It is the Dunmark Crushers 3, the Carp 1, Super League Baseball Adelaide. It was a big weekend to open week 1 of the baseball season. All around the competition last week, Div 1 got underway. We mentioned Port Adelaide beat Goodwood here at West Beach 12-7. The Adelaide Angels went up to Golden Grove. Golden Grove beat Adelaide Angels 4-2. Big pitchers duel at Southern Districts. The Rams of Hanley and Grange getting up 2-1. Sturt pounded East Torrens Payneham 12-5. Your move to Kensington already paying dividends, mate. 17-5 over West Torrens.
Oh yes, I took credit for that too because they started 0-5 last year. So.
And Glenelg beat up on Woodville 9-3. The Reds of Northern Districts. The bye will give you the games coming up this Sunday, week 2. But right now, back to the on-field action. And then wasting no time as that's a ground hit to third, and just like that, one away. The games this Sunday, Henley and Grange travel to the Red Sox of East Torrens Payneham. Northern Districts, they travel up to Golden Grove Central Districts, the two northern teams. Woodville, they go to Goodwood, both sides looking for a win after a first round loss. Glenelg and Port Adelaide, first round winners. They could be in outright top. The winner of that one, that will be up at Port Adelaide. The Angels travel to Southern Districts, and West Torrens travel to the Saints of Sturt. 3 o'clock, first pitch, Division 1. Get out and support your South Australian Baseball League.
Yeah, and it's definitely, if fans are looking for something to do on Sunday afternoons, it's definitely great baseball. There's a drive into right field. That's going to be over the right fielder's head. Todd McDonald got a hold of that one, and that one is gone. Home run, Todd McDonald, his first one of the Super League.
Well, you got to call it right. Welcome to Adelaide, Todd McDonald. Just when you say there's no way they're going to put one over the fence tonight with the breeze, he goes straight ahead and does it. Probably with a little bit of assistance out there towards that scoreboard, which, when you think about home runs hit here, probably about 75% tend to go that way with the breeze. And that makes it a 4-1 3-run lead to the Crushers, putting an exclamation point maybe on this contest.
Yeah, we got another veteran in here for the Dunmark Crushers. Chris Sims, ground ball to third. Liam Bull's going to get an opportunity. He's pinch hitting for Travis Underhill in the DH spot.
They're really wasting no time working through this. They'll have a hit, they'll get out, they'll have a hit over the fence, another hit to third. Don't players know that it's on TV, and if they give us a long at bat, we can actually talk about them a bit.
Yeah, and we're going to have another pitching change here as Tyson Mckee has reached his 6-out limit that the Super League has imposed. So manager Paul Green's going back to the bullpen, and looks like he's calling in a lefty, but we'll let you know as soon as we can see what's coming out that door.
Well, there's definitely a relief pitcher coming in. We'll see what they're like warming up. Yeah, if we're going to nominate one thing for next year, numbers on the front, please. Although we've got to rely on the PA system to help us out. Because, of course, they don't usually turn around that much. I think the first number was a 1. That narrows it down to about 4 or 5.
I guess 14 is probably the number we're going to go to here. But before we get confirmation, we're going to make sure. Don't want to be too presumptuous here.
So this is where it gets interesting. Of course, you're used to the Adelaide, you know, watching the major leaguers where they might do a couple of substitutions in the last innings, then the ABL, well, there's maybe a few more over the last few. Caught some Little League, the Junior League World Series in July, where they're just interchanging every inning basically to give everyone a run. Be interesting to see what they do here, because of course, you know, they've got their squads. I think they've got 18, of which 4 need to pitch. So yeah, your guess is as good as ours, folks. We don't even have the live chat up to work this out.
It's number 10 in the pitch. It's lefty. Just from knowing the players, I'm going to guess this is Tom Norley out of Golden Grove, lefty.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Hard throwing lefty. He's got a big curveball that'll break in on righties and away from lefties.
I love your decisiveness, Rob. I think that's what we're going to do. If we don't know, we're just going to say this is who it is. Come up and tell us if we're wrong.
Well, from the roster sheets they gave us, they didn't have a number 10 listed, so we're gonna have to go with what best guess situation is right now.
So Norley, 21 appearances, 11 starts, 76 innings pitched last year. Baseball SA, an ERA of 7.46, 8 home runs given up, 18 walks, 55 walks, 40 strikeouts. So if you're patient, you might end up at first. He throws that first one down and just struggles to find the edge of the plate.
Yeah, last year was his first real season in Div 1. He played up in Golden Grove. It's a team that was a bottom of the table team, but he got some valuable innings. And it's when you play in the SBL Div 1, there's a lot of good hitters, and it's hard to sometimes pitch at every single one of them over and over without giving up big hits. So he was obviously a little bit picky, but so far 2-0 here. He needs to dial in a little bit and find himself a strike.
I reckon no, he didn't. Okay. So it's all happening here at Diamond Sports. We've got the baseball, Wednesday night baseball, also on Spacequake Sports about to start to our left. We'll have baseballs flying left, softballs flying right. Bring your own helmet, as this one's a walk.
4-pitch walk. He needs to close himself off a little bit. I don't know if it's the nerves, a little bit of jitters for his first appearance here in the Super League against some of the top hitters, but he's got to just dial in right now. His team's trailing by 3 runs. He needs to end it right here, get them out of the inning, so hopefully they can get some runs for him in the bottom of the inning. Well,
a bit of a crowd here and under the David Hutton grandstand, a few in the bleachers on the Carp dugout side. And this is probably where you'll see the peak crowd, because you'll have the crowd coming in for the late game that's just over an hour away, the Clippers and the Wasps. Round 1 of the Super League Baseball Adelaide. We haven't seen, we have seen 1 strike, 1-1 the count. So he's got his first strike on the board. That will just lower the pulse rate a little.
Yeah, he found himself, and then he just missed up a little bit there, which is probably what he was trying to do.
Yep, there's the pitcher. It's that way.
And Linden camps under it at short for the final out of the inning.
So that'll do it for the top of the 6th. Carp have got 6 outs to in the record books, the first one to pull one over the fence in this competition. Next week we're back Wednesday night. We'll know all our players, we'll have all our numbers, we'll be all ship-shape and shiny for round 2.
We can hope.
Yeah, the Crushers are back in the early game. They'll be playing the Clippers. The Carp, they get the late start to play the Wasps. Each team will play each other 3 times over a 9-week regular season. All Wednesday night doubleheaders. First game at 6, second game 8:30 local. Free entry here at Active Display Stadium, so as the weather heats up, feel free to come on down, enjoy some great baseball. Of course, you can also watch it on Spacequake Sports.
Their specialised knowledge, ability to deliver and professionalism are keys to our successful relationship. A friendly and experienced team.
She got 2 little horns and they give me a little bit.
So we've got Gross there out on the hill to resume hostilities, and that wind is just picking up a couple of knots. Ron, hope you brought the jacket.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier that there was no flags out here. We'd like to see it because we were saying the wind was picking up, and Todd McDonald just drove one out of here to right field, but it sure feels like the wind's blowing dead in from right up in the booth here.
Right into us.
Use some, could use another layer and maybe some gloves.
Some coffee. Anyway, here we go. Back to the action. Carp with some work to do, and it's Wilson Lee at the plate. Just getting that purpley hue now with the sunset.
He takes strike 1 there. So far he's 0 for 2 for the day with a strikeout and then a fielder's choice his last time up. So he's hoping to get on base and let Gus do something for him.
You would think it'd be a pretty potent combination, wouldn't you, coming in at 3-4. Both with ABL experience, just hasn't quite delivered as a 1-2 punch tonight so far.
Well, he's in the driver's seat right now with a 3-1 pitch. He's probably going to be getting a nice fastball, going to be outer half, and came in, fouled off. It's a good fastball there, tailed in on his hands.
Yeah, missing the speed gun tonight. We have a great radar gun, because sometimes it shows miles per hour, sometimes it shows kilometres per hour, sometimes it comes up with like 230. We've got no idea what that is. So it's obviously still in the repair shop, as Lee will strike out.
Caught looking on a pitch that he thought was a little outside, but it looked like it caught a lot of the outside corner on that one, and it was a good pitch from Jordy Gross. Oh, we have a defensive change now after an out in the 3rd inning. We get looks like Herrera's coming out at third, and Charlie Ashcroft might be going in to play for him.
Herrera has done enough for his #1 draft pick. And now we'll see what Angus Rozier can do. Base is empty, 1 out. 3-run deficit.
Carp are going to have to find some patience in this in these last couple innings of their chance here. They need base runners to get. You can't hit 3 or 4 run home runs with nobody on. So
Rozier's showing he wants to get this game wriggling along a bit. We've got 24 minutes of game time left. Should be plenty. Inning and a half, you'd think. Carp, well, given they're trailing, we're going to go the full 7, you would think.
yeah, if the innings have been anything like they've been the last couple, there's a drive to center field. It looks like Hutchins in a camp under that for
No.
He lost that one in the lights.
Yep. Had it, then lost it, and found out it went about 15 feet further than he thought it was going. That's probably the power of Angus Rozier as well, I might add.
Yeah, he found a little extra power in the extension hair there and got it over Hutchins' head and got himself a lead, 1-out double here.
Sampson. The hair brings the power.
We'll have to ask him about it, see if that's where his thinking is for this season.
Ryan Muggleton at the plate. Look, that one round about the knees, takes the first pitch strike.
It's definitely a hitter with a lot of power. He got some big home runs here 2 years ago in the grand final for West Torrens when they beat Port Adelaide.
There's another swing at that one. So no one's wasting time here. 1 out. So it's a 3-run ball game. Muggleton pops that one up. That sends everyone scampering, heading towards the bullpen, which is where it'll end up. So just a foul. Still down 0-2 in the count. He's working through his second innings of work, so the Crushers will have to find a closure as Muggleton strikes out. So he's doing the job here. He struck out Wilson Lee, teammate. He struck out Ryan Muggleton, obviously giving up the hit to Rozier, but that's your power trio for the Carp, and he struck out 2 of them. Yeah,
it's 3-4-5. Great sign for Gross here to start the early in the season for Woodville. He's showing maybe that he could be ace material for their team.
Yeah, the Senators. Now I'm a footy-wise a Woodville boy, the green and gold, so I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Senators. Of course, I know I've been in grand finals without success.
He's up 0-2 here. He could have a nice inning here if he can get one more by.
One more, take 3 Ks
Sanderson,
out of it.
Who's another great hitter in this lineup, so could have himself a very pretty inning here.
And the Carp could leave another one stranded, which they did early. And we're in the corner, so that one will be fouled. Gee, hit hard. Just checking out. There's a pitcher warming up in the Crushers bullpen. Can't pick up the number. The purple on purple, not the greatest from long distance. These modern fashions. As we'll see the Clippers in blue and the Wasps in, well, I'm going to call them gold a little bit later on.
Just a bit outside there. Good pitch. He's nibbling on the outside corner, trying to get Sanderson to chase like the Wilson Lee and Muggleton did previously.
Was trying to get a bite, but the Carp weren't biting on that occasion.
Oh, nice.
They get one fish pun in sometime tonight. There's a hit towards centre. I'll tell you, sends Hutchings back. This one he's got, though. And that will do it for the 6th. We head to the 7th and final inning of the inaugural Super League Baseball game. Dunmark Crushers, they've led from start to finish.
Got 2 little horns and they give me a little bit.
Well, here we go. We're in the 7th inning of the opening game. The lights truly taking their effect now. Glorious hue around the ground now at Active Display Stadium, West Beach. And let's see if the Crushers can add something to their tally at the moment.
Yeah, looks like we had a couple changes here. Wilson Lee's come from left field, and he's going to take over on the mound. Hopefully, they're obviously hoping to shut them down. With Liam Bull moving from third base to left field, and it looks like Ryan Broom's come in to take over at third base, hitting in the DH spot. So it looks like Angus Roger is done for the night.
Yep, Charlie Ashcroft, number 20, coming in for the Crushers. And as a pitcher, puts that one. That's a comeback, a well grabbed by Lee. And that's a very casual, as you would expect in those scenarios.
Yeah, it's just a nice reaction play from a pitcher. You get a nice one hopper. It's not directly at you, just enough time to get your glove up. I think the easy little flip over to first base. It's an easy 2-pitch out for to start an inning.
We'd like to thank all the Super League Baseball sponsors. We've got Baseball SA, Black Chrome, Spacequake Sports, Dunmark, The Highway, Voitech. Putting together this competition that'll run 11 weeks as that one's in the stands. And yeah, they've moved the Baseball SA season around, which is good to see. The 2 games a week at the Baseball SA Div 1 level will start in January. So the decks are clear midweek through until Christmas for this competition.
Yeah, 1-1 pitch here from Wilson Lee's. It's very good numbers as a pitcher in Germany and back in the SABL last season. And he can get a little wild. He gets very high strikeout numbers and very high walk numbers. So he's very much a strikeout or nothing type pitcher.
He's the Ricky Vaughan of the Carp side. Looking to find his Terminator. It's by far my favourite baseball movie, only because it features my mentor in terms of baseball commentary, Harry Doyle, who tags teams as Bob Uecker, radio caller for my favourite baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers.
I was going to say, you'd be happy. He's still calling games with the Brewers advancing to the National League finals there.
He's like a kid again. He's having a ball.
Oh, he loves it. And he's entertaining to listen to, and he's such a knowledgeable man about baseball and about the game. It's he brings humor and knowledge to doing a baseball game.
That's it. His best work's actually spring training, when sort of you're just sitting back and chatting more about the game than the game itself. At the moment, they're all pretty, calling sometimes. When the intensity is high, you call the game, and the game will call itself, and away you go. When there's a blowout or there's not much at stake, that's when you can get into the fun stuff.
Yeah, the master of calling games has always been Vin Scully.
Vin Scully, that's true. That's a nasty one at the ankles. Well picked up. Going to be a play at first, but again, everything at ankle depth, and this is going to be an extra base.
He'll make it without a throw.
So you got to feel for the third baseman on that occasion for the Carp, who's wearing a number 20 jumper, and we don't have a number 20 on the team list. How are you going with yours?
I think it might be Ryan Broom there at third. But, I mean, that's sort of the typical baseball analogy. Whenever you come into a game, the ball will find you.
Yes.
It's when you're new to a game, the ball's going to find you, and it's usually never just an easy one-hopper or lazy fly ball. It's usually a tough play there, and he made a nice play diving, finding it, and then the throw just was a little short, allowing him the Air 5 to get to second base.
Very different locale. Did well to keep in the play and try and make the play at third. But right now, that ended up. The Crushers have got a man at second, 1 out, looking to add 1 more run to what's looming as the inaugural victory. Still a chance for the Carp to rally bottom of the 7th. Got 14 minutes left. Looks like this one could, bar the rally, is going to run right to schedule.
Yeah, we'll see if Carp obviously going to want to get them out as quickly as possible. But this inning goes a little longer, they may not get the opportunity to bat in the 7th. So even more incentive, there's another single into left field by Linden. Hernandez is having quite an afternoon in the first Super League game.
He is indeed. He is right at home.
2 singles, a double, and a walk today.
He doesn't even. Every time he gets to go and celebrate back in the dugout as the pinch runner comes in.
That one, he got to just jog down to first on that one. He didn't have to beat it out like the one earlier today when he had the hard infield single.
Oh, he's done the hard work. I mean, look, that said, and compared with yours, Rob, very limited understanding of baseball. The hardest position, the one position I would never want to play is catcher. That's tough.
You have to be the smartest player on the field to be the catcher. There's so much going on that you're basically another manager. And if you look at the career of Major League professional coaches and managers, a lot of them are former catchers for that very reason.
Yep, they see games, they call games, they observe what happens.
Very own Adelaide Bite here. The manager now is a former catcher.
Absolutely. Good day to take if you tuned in. Big season ahead for the Bite. Can't believe just 5 weeks away. The signings are being announced on a daily basis. That one is headed up towards right at the fence.
And through the fence he goes.
Well, yes. And you around for the Norwood days at all, Rob?
No, actually, the first this will be the 3rd season that I'll be here in Adelaide. So I believe that the first season I was here was the first year that we were down at West Beach.
Well, the Bite used to play at Norwood Oval, and it's a football oval converted into a baseball diamond. It's not quite correct regulations, and the fence around the outfield is temporary.
Okay.
And on 2 occasions, the first year I caught baseball, a player caught the ball and ran through the fence. The panel just collapsed on him. And they kept running. Thankfully, I don't think this fence is going anywhere. That looks pretty sturdy.
Yeah, no, I don't think outfielders aren't going to want to be running too hard into that fence. There's not going to be much give.
All nice, even, pretty symmetrical. 320 at the corners, 380 at centre. That one is a line drive hit. Looks to have found a gap into that corner. This will bring a run. Could it bring 2? Just struggling to find the ball.
And they're going to hold up at 3rd.
All right, they're going to take the run and say we're going to fill up 3rd and 2nd. And have another crack at it. So this is becoming one-way traffic. That makes it 5-1 Crushers with more threatening.
Yeah, solid double there by Henley and Greg Jimport and Ben Andrews. Hit the outside fastball, and he just took it exactly where the pitch was, and he drove it over the right fielder's head down the line. Got himself an RBI double, and they're set up to score a couple more here. Carp's going to move the infield in, try to cut off the run at home. They can't afford to give up anymore here.
10 minutes to 8. Looking for the 5.5 hole. Found Brew. Looking for the double. That went through. It was going to bring another run. So we had 1 score. The missed throw at 3rd brought 2. We had an out. There was plenty happening there.
Yeah, they had the infield in. They got the slow chopper they wanted, but the Dunmar Crushers had the contact play on. So the runner ran as soon as the ball was hit.
Yep.
Broom made a nice play to get it. He knew he didn't have a chance at home to get the out, so he wanted to make sure he got an out and got the out at first. Unfortunately, the first baseman made an ill-advised throw to 3rd, and that allowed the 7th run to come in for the evening.
So what looked, my co-caller Fraser has a term he calls slammable if it's within 4. Okay. Well, it was slammable, and now an 8. 6-run difference. Carp will have 3 out if they get to bat. Get to have a hit.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get this final out here fairly quickly
so
because
this
they
is how it
start
actually
the inning.
works. That basically 8 o'clock, that's it. You're gone. Middle of inning, and we're not going to play it out.
I'm not sure. I'd have to double check, but I would imagine you can't start the inning.
Yes, you can.
So if it was the middle of, if it was going to the bottom of the 7th and it was a tie game, they wouldn't, or a they wouldn't just end it. I think they'd finish the
Correct.
7th
So
and
basically
go from there.
If the Crushers are still batting in 9 minutes' time, that's your ball game.
Correct, yes.
And bad luck, Carp, you should have got him out.
Yeah, well, I mean, so far the difference tonight, by the looks of things, has been you got the veteran presence of the Denmark Crushers, the guys hitting the ball hard, finding holes, and the poor defensive play, I'd say, of the Carp. Yeah. And they didn't cash their runs in when they had their opportunity, but there's a beautiful curveball by Wilson Lee there to strike out. But they had a couple of ill-advised plays in the field that cost them.
Alrighty, well, the good news is up the first game. The Crushers scored 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and then they've scored 1 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th for the Carp, just the 1 in the 3rd innings. Well, they're not going to be shut out, but this has got uglier the further the game has gone. They will be back to play the Wasps next week, and it will be the Clippers and the Crushers early game. All games on Spacequake Sports. We thank them for their support as we get ready for a big season of baseball and local sport. Well, there's none better than Spacequake Sports. Softball, baseball, rugby league, rugby union, women's footy, amateur footy, American footy. They've done the interstate series. They do it well.
Looks like Denmark Crushers are going to be bringing back Anthony Herrera into pitch now, so it's something. One of the rules we're going to have to figure out, because they took him out earlier. I don't know. I guess you can designate him because he's a pitcher. We'll have to find out exactly the rules after this first game. But he looks like a little bit of a slinger, sidearm thrower. He was a dual player in college, so.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, if he can come in as a closer, given what we've seen, what he can do in the field, and a leadoff man, he's a triple threat. Yeah,
man. I mean, even more reason why he was the #1 pick in the Super League draft this year.
Well, I'll leave you to dig through the Super League rule book, which I think is still coming off the photocopier as we speak. It is. But I think as an issue, it's wonderful. It's something different. I can remember back in the 80s. I think it was the 80s. I hope it was the 80s. They used to combine a couple of the clubs together into 4. So you had like Port Adelaide, West Torrens and Woodville formed a team, and they would play a midweek series under lights at Nordo. Well, they got quite a bit of publicity and some good crowds. It was something similar, but it was still club-based. This is very much talent-based in a different environment at a higher level, just to help with that development. As first at bat, should be a pretty quick 1 pitch out. It is, and the Crushers are 2 outs away.
Yeah, good fastball there from Herrera to start. Inside, jam Mason Clavel, hit a little slow chopper over to third base, and which was an easy play for a 5-3 put out.
So Nathan van der Linden comes in. Talk about triple threats. He's Mr. Versatile in South Australian baseball. You can see if he can find somewhere permanent in the bite lineup. He fills a lot of holes, but doesn't seem to be able to stick at any one particular spot.
Yeah, he does everything really well. Just doesn't excel at anything over another, but he's such a talented baseball player. I'm curious to the fact that he is a switch hitter and he's staying on the right-hand side in this at-bat here.
So he's got open bases. We've got 1 out, and it's all Crushers at the moment. Their sponsors, Denmark Corporation, will think they've made a pretty good choice of which team to support based on what they've seen this evening.
Yeah, the Denmark Crushers are the first team in the Super League to get themselves a sponsorship. So there are 3 other teams that are available if there were.
The Capo's Carp, Capo's Seafood Carp's got a ring to it. Trying to think of a local honey producer for the Wasps, but that's not coming to me.
Herrera looks like he has very good stuff. He's got a hard fastball. The pitch he just struck out van der Linden on was a beautiful slider that was in the zone all the way until the end. And there's Liam Bull going down on the final strike of the inning.
And there is your ball game, and the Dunmar Crushers are victorious. They did it easy in the end, 7 runs to 1. As mentioned, 1 in the first, 2 in the second. That 2 RBI double by Hutchings, brother against brother, set the early tone. Carp got 1 back. Home run to McDonald, and then 3 in the 7th. In the end, it was Crushers easy. Rob, great working with you, mate. You're going to stick around. Fraser's going to join you for the late game.
Thank you, yeah.
Look forward to keeping in touch with you as the season progresses.
Yeah, well, maybe you saw the 1 home run. You're excited with that. You might want to stick around. These next 2 teams got some guys that can hit. We may see a few in the second game.
This is Phil Hearn on behalf of the Spacequake sports team. Go and grab yourselves a drink, a coffee, something to keep you warm. We'll be back with the second game just over half an hour. This is Super League Baseball Adelaide. The final score, the Dunmar Crushers 7, the Carp 1. Good night from Active Display Stadium.